Do you believe that? Really? Who just has to make her appearance in the morning? She has gotten to be such a ham. Haven't you, Ruby? Huh? Yeah, screw you. You don't see me, I'm hiding now. I'm going to go bump somebody and see if there's a little more grain left. And there's a lineup of calves. Almost. Well, yeah, there's a shorter one in there. Oh, we get the chrome girl. Come on, where is she? There she is. And that'd be Dancer. And Big Girl came up in the other section again, came up in the lockups. She started to walk around, then didn't. Then I got done feeding grain and I came down and I walked her out so she could go around and come back in, and she just said, screw you, and walked her out in the pasture. It's like, okay, whatever. Hi, kid. Yeah. Daughter? Mother. What do you know? Anyway, 021H. I could, while I'm waiting for that pan to empty, I could come blind you over here. I'm a little slow this morning because I ended up texting Ty and she texted right back. And I ended up calling her because I wasn't going to type all that crap in a text. But I got to keep an eye over here today. Sorry, I'm going to set that down. I think that's her standing at the water trough. Not that you can see her through everything, but I think that's her. She's the wider of the two that haven't calved yet. I come up here this morning and they all came running in, and she stopped and sniffed right there. And from here, even in the camera, honestly, that looks like it could be some real runny shit. And there is, I mean, that isn't real runny over there, but, you know, looks kind of the same color from here. I ended up actually climbing down in there, and I was right standing next to it before I could tell for sure what that was. That would be a water bag. And she's standing there with her tail out a little bit now. She was flat backed, nothing going on, walks right up here to eat grain. While I'm down checking out, I look over and she's humped up a little. I'm drifting. I've just had a feeling that we're going to have issues. I don't know why. Just get that feeling in the back of your head, like, you know, something ain't right. So, Ty gets here, we'll get her moved over because I wasn't going to fight her in that. I don't walk across all that crap as well as I used to. And it's easier to take her through that little gate out there into the outside. And that's easier with two people. And good news finally. There's 3 of these little ones from last year. I had a hard time finding one of them. 2 of them are 2 peas in a pod, and they're both really little. But the other one has actually been growing pretty good. That's one of the 2 peas in the pod. The other one, that one walking away would be the other one. But that one right there by the water trough now, she's quite a bit bigger. Anyway, Mom's old horseshoer looked at him last fall and hemmed and hawed and got nowhere. And I don't know, I don't think so. Well, he stopped by a couple days ago, and apparently he's going to come get them Sunday morning. So that'll be good, get them out of here, because I can't feed them enough to keep them growing. And I don't know if you saw it a minute ago, but Buffalo was giving her some loves. Anyway, that's damn near 5 minutes of the morning. I still got shit to do. Oh, now Buffalo's going to spar with her. One thing about him, he don't care who he's social with. He plays with these girls. He plays with the other two calves in there and plays with Mom and other moms. Oh well. We'll see what the day brings. Yep. Told you I had a feeling. This one's backwards. Decent sized calf, but a big cow. So hopefully it comes out smoothly. So you ain't gonna get to see that because why? There's two of these and there's two of us.
Give me a second and you're gonna give me those.
There he is. Oh man, you moved too soon.
I know.
He is
Early.
a week.
There, that's
hello,
what I
bud.
wanted.
He is a week to 10 days early by his teeth. And I don't remember if she was the one that was due the 28th or the 30th.
Yeah, that's what I need you to do, kid.
We definitely call that one a win. He's fair-sized. Yes, Mama. Good Mama.
Yeah,
good Mama.
Oh, I know.
Yes, good Mama.
Yeah.
Good Mama.
Oh, hi.
No, backwards. They make the butt pucker a little bit.
Tahoe was my first breech split.
Yeah, Tahoe, if anybody remembers the videos of him coming out, not that you got to see him actually come out. He was tail first, no freaking legs. Luckily, his mama let us push him back in and get the hind legs up. Still came out backwards, either way. And the real bitch about backwards is, as they come out, the cord gets sheared off in the canal.
You good, Mama?
And once the cord's sheared off, they go, and if their face is in the fluid, they drown.
Yes.
Yes, we're talking about you. Yes.
Yeah.
So, there we go. And as far as due dates, I mean, nothing against Dr. Peter. He was only right on a few.
Are you fancy pants?
A lot of it's the new way they're teaching how to figure it out. The old vets used to reach in and kind of get a feel of the fetus a little bit, go by size, and what they could tell was developed. But like I said, anyway, there he is. And yeah, we intervened for good reason. I know it'd been at least 3 hours since she lost her water.
One part of it was one of them was up and tucked above, trying to get into the anus from the vagina.
That's why.
And the other one was back and curled like this below.
So, I mean, Ty went to the house to clean Tahoe's bottle and do a couple of little things quick, and she was up there maybe 10-15 minutes, and in that time frame, Mama here was up and down over a half dozen times trying to move the calves. So, yep.
Are you trying to get up already?
Only one left.
At least got patches on.
I was thinking this was the cow that lost her calf last year in
She's
here.
your best friend.
Is it my best friend?
She's the one that always came up to your bike.
That's right. This is one of the ones that if I was out in the pasture, she'd come up and sneak up behind me and say hello. Ty just moved the calf over here. His hind legs are knuckled over.
Oh,
So she's got one teeth that's leaking now. Every time she gets her udder close to him, he reaches up with his mouth open like, hungry, Mama. No, I knew she lost her calf last year, but I couldn't remember how, so Tyler and I were just discussing that. If anybody remembers, we had 2 good-sized 2-year-olds in here with calves on them. One of them was a bitch. Yeah.
That's how big he was.
He was a nice big calf, and the one kicked him, and he was right along that gate. And, hindsight, one of those I should have kicked that bitch out of here. But I think they both calved the same day or a day apart. He was only a couple days old, and she either caught him in the head or right at the neck. And Now, I was in the shop, and all I could hear was the loudest calf screams I've ever heard in my life. And they didn't stop. And the second they started, at that time, we weren't on pasture yet, so all the cows were over there, and all those cows were against that gate trying to come through it, because this calf was screaming bloody murder. And, not realizing what happened at first, until I realized, thinking, well, shit, he got encephalitis or something, the way he was acting, except he wouldn't have had the screaming. And every breath he screamed, there was no break in it. So, anyway, he ended up with some serious neurological issues that he wasn't going to come out of. So he got a lead bolus to get him out of his misery. I hate doing that. And he was one that I would have kept for a bull. I mean, if he stayed with how he was when he came out, when he was a couple days old, he would have made a great bull. But anyway, and she was a great mama for the couple of days she had him, and she is proving to be a very good mama with this one so far. And as soon as she gets him dried off the rest of the way, we're going to splint his hind leg so he can actually get up. So, there. Now you know a little more story on her. It explains why she's in such good shape too, because she didn't have to nurse a calf all last year. That does make a big difference on their condition, and she'll stay in better condition the rest of her life. And she's off. I did the first 2 rounds. Becky had to go to town. She don't like doing the outside anyway, especially in the 3-corner piece. But get that fluffed up, and that way the damp spots will dry out. Most of it's pretty good, but there's a couple spots. And she's just about whooped, but she's also just about done raking her mess up.
Yeah, but Mom had it easier because I went out farther like all this crap. So I've been fighting the long shit.
So anyway, she should get that piece done before lunch anyway. Then she'll go to this one, which she may get started on this one before lunch. And I told her she will come in for lunch. Well, I haven't eaten anything yet today. I said, that's why you will come in for lunch.
She's not good about eating.
She ain't good about
drinking.
Ain't good about eating and drinking when she should. But she got a bottle of water and a bottle of Powerade with her, so.
And I was told that she was going to rake.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to get her tan because she's pissed off that I already have a freaking tan.
She just hates to rake that piece. She was really hoping I'd have that done before she got here.
Or I would do it before she got here.
Yeah, or she'd have done it. But she don't mind these, nice square flat pieces. That one she wigs out because down in the draw, there is a little rut this year. I didn't notice it cutting it. But with a smaller tractor, I felt it, but it ain't much. It's nothing like it was last year. So
she was asking me, and I said,
a good wet year and a lot of ruts will actually kind of squish in or whatever.
Or create new ones that you didn't know you had.
Oh, she's making a little dust down there. Must have found some gopher mounds. I know there's some out there. But for the most part, I didn't really make much dust. Of course, we're not.
No smut either.
Not running wide open and not going real fast, so too damn rough to do that. If we went up a gear and run it up a few more RPMs, that'd probably make more dust. But anyway, that's how the rest of the morning's going.
Actually, you and I need to.
Well, Ty just got the splints on him. He's working his way to it. That's her way to keep Mama busy for a second so she can help him find it. She's not real sure because, yeah, she's sore. She had that one dripping earlier, and now she's got it running a straight stream out. Get him on it. He didn't like it at all when she first got the splint on. He was busy trying to kick one off, but he can stand with them on, so he couldn't get up and stand without him because he was knuckled over too much. He couldn't get a grip on the ground and just kept slipping his foot out. So that's what's happening here. And it looked like Becky's almost half done up there with that piece. But the bad thing is Mama just wants to keep moving. It happens. I don't know how bad I'll want to go in there because she may not want to stand at all then. Anyway, that's, she's just gonna be stubborn. That happens. And she's got at least 2 of them dripping now. The right hind and the left front are both dripping. So you know she's sore. That's why she doesn't want him on it. But you know, she's also got to figure out that once he starts nursing, it's going to feel so much better. Yeah, he's been eating for a little bit. We kind of had to corner her. She wouldn't put her head in the lockup.
Quit clicking.
And
Click.
Ty has decided to call him Click because he keeps clicking his splints together. And we were just wondering who her mama was. Let's just think back to last spring. 132, the old gal that went down and then ended up with the worms and the cocci and the infection and went septic on us. That's who her mama was. So, that's one reason she got a reprieve for losing the calf last year. And, you know,
See? Click.
it wasn't her fault. But he is a going to town. He's
Click. Quit.
just trying to get tangled up in the gate is all. And yeah, his hind legs are, he wants to stand with them too straight, but
Without him, he can't stand.
a lot of that I think is because the splints are on, but he can't stand without them. Anyway, there you go. He's eating. Well, I had to go to town, so I figured I'd catch this on the way back. That is crimson. No more flowers. It's just about ready to swath. And hopefully there's some seeds in it. Because generally we get like 3 to 7 inches of rain in May. We got less than 3/4 of an inch all May. That piece wasn't quite as good looking before, but it's all turned too. I know that's one of the big concerns for crimson anyway. Not enough moisture in May, you don't get any seed. And most of the grass seed, you gotta have at least 3 inches in June. A lot of guys are watering their grass right now for the seed crop, hoping to get enough on it to get some seed. Well, you already seen I had to go to town. I've got from 1 inch to 1 3/4 hose that would have worked on this. And I've got from 2 1/4 to 3 inch that would have worked on it. Unfortunately, it's 2 inch. And where I went to go, all he had was the stuff with the metal in it. I didn't want to fight the metal getting it up in there. Actually, it might have been all right, because the worst thing is the filter housing. It's cast aluminum, and I figured it was going to go on there really hard, and actually it didn't. Went harder on the hose probably, or onto the tube. But filters are on, new filter gaskets are in. We got a line on the other side we got to fix yet. Haven't had a chance to go clean that up and tear it apart. It's a low pressure return, part of the transmission anyway. Just it's 3/8 plastic DOT line, compression fittings, and yeah, we've messed with it last year. It's leaking and it was loose again, she said, so we may have to change some fittings. I don't know. But where we reused the old gasket in there, it was fine. I mean, it was stuck to the case good. Nothing wrong with it. Just a little RTV around it. And I put a little RTV on there too, just to help. And when you do that, you want to do it so you don't get any of that inside the hose. So it goes on the tube beyond where the rib is that holds the hose on, and then it'll stay there, and your hose clamp will clamp into it, and it will not squish to the inside of the tube. And on this one, these only go 3/4 of the turn, which that was literally all I could get. And I always cheat. I mean, if I'm underneath the vehicle putting the engine oil filter back on, I push up as I turn so it's easier to turn. And I had my knee up under here, pushing up and turning as hard as I could to get that 3/4 of the turn. So I imagine that's all they want on it. That's what most filters are, but these, that 3/4 is tight. That's why Ty had a hard time getting them broke loose. So anyway, we got a bunch of oil to put in, but I want that RTV to set good first. So I don't know that we're going to put the oil in today. I need to check and make sure she got the plugs tight too, just because. And like I said, we got to check that other line on the other side. Got it in here, may as well fix that leak too. And if she doesn't work, we get the oil in it in the morning and either hook up the Cultipacker or the big disc, either one, doesn't matter, just to make sure it will actually lift it. If it don't work, I got a nice new set of pressure gauges coming. They'll be here tomorrow sometime. And we can start checking pressures. Probably should see if Becky will find the tech manual for this. I don't think we have. We might have an IT manual on it. I need to look. But I know it's not in that book there. Although, no, I think the only thing we got is parts. Parts manuals 99% of the time are better than the service manual, because the parts manual shows you how the parts lay out, more or less. Although very well, the back of that could be. I'm going to look. We'll find out. We don't have one. I mean, we've got a couple places that she's got those downloadable ones. She just sits there for an hour and prints the pages out. Because, I know where some test ports are. That's a test port. A couple on the other side too. But I don't know what they're supposed to be. And there's our one that leaks. I'm reasonably sure it's where the tube goes into the fitting. Could be the fitting's bad. We got more. We got more hose too. It's not like that's a long one to change. So, anyway, that's my story for today. Don't know how much more you're going to get, because it's getting to be about that time. And Thailand just went out to save Becky. Becky does not like raking corners with the tedder rake. So she cheats. When she gets to the middle of the field, she calls me, "Can you send Ty out?" So Ty went out and finished it. Corners in the last one, and she just came in when I started recording this. So anyway, and I was hoping to find air oil pump reasonable. By the way, Hobo Freight has one, and the price isn't bad, but the problem is it's made for a barrel, and it pressurizes the barrel. It's a great system. Not so good on barrels, in my opinion, but it doesn't work if you're sucking out 5-gallon buckets. And all those I found, I don't want to pay that much for. So anyway, we'll see if we come up with something else. I was talking about the hose. I bought a foot. I needed 3 inches. Yeah, I know there's a joke in there somewhere. Anyway, oh, look at that. But we've used that on a lot of stuff. Anti-skiv on the outside, it'll handle pretty good pressure. It's actually like on truck radiators. Hoses is what it is. If you want to guess how much that cost? Well, plus the other 3 inches, just for 1 foot. Oh, wait. Honest, I can't tell you the exact price. It was $23 and change, and I don't know how much the change was. I didn't look beyond the decimal point. Because why? Well, I knew it was up there. So I didn't need to look beyond the decimal point. So it's gold. It really is. But when you need it, I mean, there's stuff around here that's, well, hell, there's 3 trucks around here that have that. That's probably the original. I mean, it's the same hose, not necessarily Napa. Probably the original from when the trucks were made. Very rarely have to change those because they hold up that well. Oh, I thought those were the old ones. They give you choices because there's two different styles of filter housings. One style takes an O-ring and you tighten the filter up until you cannot tighten it anymore because you bottom the metal piece out against the bottom of the filter housing. And the other is the quad ring that the edge of the housing goes against. But if you got to go buy those, you know, I mean, I can go to one place and buy a bag with a 10 or 20 of them in it for like $5. But if you go to auto parts or your dealer to buy those are like $5 a piece. They'll go in the drawer.